Hey everybody, today we are working on starting our seedlings. We're going to be growing fresh from the seed this year. Last year for my smaller garden, I did transfer plants from Home Depot, and I ended up spending about $200 for a small garden. This year rather, we're going to be doing a bigger garden, probably about twice the size, so that would make about $400 to plant that stuff. But instead I decided to do seeds, which is going to be like a quarter less expensive. So far I spent about $100 on seeds, maybe a little bit less, because I did end up buying other things to go with it. So far we have watermelon, we've got some eggplant, cilantro, okra, jalapenos,
Okay, then no, I'm just here.
basil, tomatoes, rosemary, bell pepper, zucchini,
We can't see ourselves.
cucumber, and sunflower. And all of these things we're going to be planting in the seed tray. We haven't had our last frost yet, so we're not going to put any of these in the ground. But we also are doing lettuce, arugula, and spinach that we're going to be putting straight into the ground. Well, actually not even into the ground. We're going to be using those in planters and hanging them off of our deck, because last year we had spinach, arugula, lots of herbs, and we had them in the garden and we never ended up using them too much because it's like they were too far away to make a salad or to use as a seasoning. So this year we're going to keep those close to the door, and then that way we will use them more effectively. So when you're using these, they come in 72 little pods, and they come just like this, so nice and big. If you're not going to be doing a lot of the same thing, which we're not, we're doing a variety, I went ahead and cut them into sheets of 9, or 9 pods in each. And this way we can really label which one's which, and we can separate the different ones. It also comes with this bottom tray, and that way you can do your bottom watering. Basically you just put water in there and then wait about 20 minutes, and once it's had enough time to moisturize the soil, then you drain the rest of the water. And that way you're not overwatering your plants, it's not sitting there in water, it's not creating a fungus or a bacteria. But in order to do that, we have to use the correct soil. And the soil you're supposed to use in order to start a plant is this seed starting soil. The only problem is the seed starting soil doesn't have any really water in it. So there's different ways that you can go about it. I've looked up a couple of different ways. Some people just go ahead and put it in there and then water it. Some people water it from the bottom and just wait for it to moisten. And then some people are mixing the water ahead of time, and that's actually what we're going to do. So Gavin is going to be my little mixologist today, and he's going to mix up the water with the soil. And what you want to do is you want to make it so it's like real crumbly, kind of like brownie batter or something. And right now,
Cow poop.
that's not.
Oh, yeah.
And right now, it's just Let me get this off so it doesn't flop back in my face. Right now it's just this soft little crumbly stuff. There's no real moisture in here. So we're gonna mix it up so that it's moisturized. We're starting with a clean bucket.
Oh gosh, that's enormous.
We're starting with a clean bucket, and that way we know that there's no
Looks like
harmful things in there. We're gonna pour this in.
I'm bigger. And then put the steaming water, I guess.
And then we're gonna be putting this water in there.
It's just
This water has been boiled, and that way we know that there's no really anything bad in the water. You never know what you're getting from the tap. The seeds are really vulnerable, so we have to make sure that we don't put any bacteria in them, and that way we'll get hopefully most of them sprouting. So I've boiled the water. It has cooled a little bit, but you can't tell because it's still steamy. And then we're just gonna, you might want to watch out. We're just gonna pour it in there. I don't really know how much it's gonna take, so we're gonna start with half. We do have another bag of dirt and more water boiled, so whichever one we need, we can make it happen. So Gavin's gonna start mixing that up.
with my hands.
With your hands. Reach in there. Come on, get dirty. You're a boy. Boy's dirty.
Yeah, they like to fight with dirtiness, not play with dirtiness.
Okay, so while he's mixing those up, we're going to take all these seeds that we had to put off to the side. And these are all the seeds that we're going to be putting into the, into these.
That is burning hot.
Is it too hot?
Yes.
Okay, just wait for a minute.
I'm
You
doing
can
the
help me
top.
with something else.
I'm doing the top right now. Topping back and forth. Oh yeah, this is hot enough for me.
Okay.
Oh, it's back hot.
Well, just wait, Gavin. All right, so we've got our cold weather crops, our lettuce, arugula, and spinach. And we're going to be putting those in a planter because, like I said, we're going to keep those close to the house. We're going to hang them directly off the deck. And to do that, we're going to be using these little plant basket brackets. And it's going to hold it just like that.
I built them.
Yep, Gavin built these. And this bends down into the planter to keep it steady. And these screw right onto the back of these. We got these at Home Depot in the garden department.
Show them the box.
They're Vigoro. And it's really easy to put together. You can hang it in 3 different ways. And then you just hang it right off of your deck. I was trying to find something that would have minimal screws being put into the deck. We just built the deck last year during the beginning of the COVID crisis.
I made balls.
And I don't want to run it just yet. So this is a planter. We got these at the Home Depot. We used these last year. Not these ones in particular, but we have some outside that we used last year. And they held up really well. They're still perfectly fine. We're going to use those for some other plants, the ones that we're replanting out there with our herbs. But for these right here, we're going to use these for spinach and arugula. And that way they can just get put out there right now. And then the lettuce we're going to put directly into the garden. So we're going to be tilling the garden, mixing that up. That's going to be in a different video. And then we'll start planting the lettuce. But for now, I've got this potting soil. I got this potting soil, Miracle Grow potting soil. This is the same stuff that we used last year when we were doing our arugula. We did this for arugula and spinach and one more thing. I can't think of the other one. But it worked out really well, and it's already got all the nutrients it needs in it. The reason why we're using this instead of the seed starter is because this is like gonna stay in there like a pot, and this is just, you know, to make the transplants to put out into the garden. All right. Can you be more careful? All right, so we're going to cut this open. And my goal is to get about a third of it in because we've got to use this and share it. Oh my goodness. I didn't realize how heavy this would be. We've got this. I'll fill it up. We want to fill it up to this bar, so I'm going to end up putting a little bit more in there. The bar is just there to keep strength, so it doesn't
fire.
So it doesn't cave in on itself. Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit more in here.
This is warm.
How's it coming over there?
Good.
What's it feel like?
It's like a fire.
Talking about the moisture of the soil.
Oh, it feels fine. It feels all crunchy.
Alright. So we've got it over that. And what we did last year is the same thing that we're going to do this year. And we're just going to take the packet. It says that this can be planted March through August.
Mommy.
So, or sorry, March through April.
It's so crunchy.
And, yeah, that's pretty good. Is that all the way down?
And
Down! So, we're going to go ahead and plant this now. This can actually, from what I've read, it can also be planted in the winter and then used as a super cold water crop. But this is, we're just going to keep it in a not too sunny area, and we're planting it in March. We still technically have one more frost to go. So we're just going to pour these in. Real simple. It got me a lot of stuff last year. I ended up getting tons of spinach and arugula, and it made plenty of salad mix for me. I actually had to replant it because I had so much in there. And then other side. And it says that it's going to take 7 to 14 days to germinate. And then it's going to harvest in 48 days. I don't necessarily... Can you turn the water off, please? Thank you. I don't necessarily worry about the spacing guide. Some people say that you need to give it the proper amount of spacing. Some people say you don't. My dad's a pretty big farmer, and he likes to grow his without too much space, and that way each of them has a buddy. Because he likes to grow happy plants that have a nice community, I guess. So I'm taking his advice, and I don't worry about spacing. I'm just lightly mixing them in. Just really lightly toughing it around. I don't want to get them too deep, because then they won't be able to grow back out of it. So we've got our spinach. And we're going to keep one of these in there so that we know who is who. And then the other one I'm going to be doing is arugula. And you can see that this is like moisturized. So this is a lot different than that powdered stuff that we just used on the seed starter.
But we
Need a little bit more. Alright, and then this is for the arugula. These seeds are super tiny. I might just need one of these. We're gonna do this one too. We'll just see what happens. If I need to repot, I need to repot. There's so many in there. All right, and like I said for the last one, just lightly mixing it in. Pouring it right on top. Lightly mixing it in. We are starting to put the soil into the pods now. So for tomato plants and bell peppers, you've got, is this just one pot?
That's 3.
It looks like 3, but it won't come apart like 3. Yeah, it will. You just gotta work it. For bell peppers and tomatoes, they are bigger and they're fast growing. So we want to make sure to put them in bigger pots so we don't have to replant them right away, or repot them rather. So we're going to put them into pots like this. You want it to be real fluffy, just like that. No gentle pushing.
Stop, fly.
You gotta sing, "Shoot fly, don't bother me." And then it'll work.
Shoot fly, don't bother me. You know there's 6 flies in this house.
6 of them?
Yeah, I've been seeing 6.
Y'all gotta stop leaving the door open. Alright, so we're gonna start with okra. And like I said before, for all of these plants, we're gonna give them a buddy. So we wanna make sure that they have somebody to grow with.
You're acting like you're a teacher at school.
Gavin, I can't help but act like I'm a teacher. So these ones are
That's all.
bigger.
What are they?
This is okra.
Oh, okay.
And we're gonna give them all a buddy. So just
I hope
gonna
I
put
get
them in there.
I hope I find the other seed for you.
And then we're gonna dig our finger just down in there, make a little hole, dig it down, make a little hole. Okay?
I can help you now.
And then you still gotta do all those pots. You're not packing it down, remember?
No.
And you only fill it up to this line right here. Here's your example pot. Make them look like that.
Done.
Oh, I forget which ones I did. Here we go.
Done.
Okay, give me a second. Oh, that one got 3. Dig a little hole, dig a little hole. Alright, and then we're going to put 2 in each of these. And we're going to get the other thing of okra.
Done.
And if all of these flower, then we've got so much good okra around here, which we love. And I'm just covering up those
Done.
seeds nice and lightly. This is our second season planting. The first season, like I said, we just transferred the plants. And
What do you need me to help with?
right now, oof, that fly. I'm just putting this on top.
What do you need me to help with?
Okay, I'll give you something.
Stick.
Oops. Here. Trade your sides. Just spread that on top. And then we've got this is our okra. So we're going to put that in the middle so we know what happened. And then poke a hole, poke a hole, poke a hole to the eggplant. You make me dirty. Eggplant all the way to the back. pour it into your hand. No, that's
You can
enough.
whip it all the way.
That's enough. Ooh, more small seeds.
Wow, I love it how there's so much small seeds.
You do?
No.
There's no way to know how much
Sarcasm.
your sarcasm. You get that from your mama.
Yep, you're always sarcasm.
Mm-hmm.
Look. You're like, what does okra look like? And then you're like, oh, that's what okra looks like. And then
Sounds
you
like a
put that
pop-up book.
down. Yeah.
And now I am not necessarily paying attention to how many seeds I'm putting in here. Can I get the other eggplant? Because they are just super duper small.
You paid 4 and 1 or 5. Yeah, you paid 5 and then 10
10?
and 1. Look at that. Or maybe 11 or 12.
12?
I don't know how much you paid in that one. Look.
Wow, that is a lot.
Oh, that's good.
All right, so our plants are coming along really nicely. We've got the bell peppers. Of course, they haven't given me anything yet, but then we've got the sunflowers and the cucumbers. Those are coming along really nicely. The okra, which is getting kind of leggy, so I might end up trying to give it some fertilizer, and I already got some different lights for it. And then the jalapenos still haven't given me anything, but the eggplant is right here, and it's getting really nice. It's popping out of its little home. And then these are the jalapenos, I believe. Oh no, this is cilantro. There's cilantro. And then we have this mystery. It's either basil or rosemary. It looks like it might be basil, which makes me wonder where I put the rosemary. But that's why you got to label as you go. And then sunflowers. More sunflowers. And we've got, this one's got the little thingy still on it. But they're coming along. And the spinach still hasn't popped up yet, but the arugula is working its way out. We've got one little tomate, a little bitty tomato, and one little thing of watermelon. That's either watermelon or tomato. I'm honestly not sure. We didn't do a good job labeling, but there's a watermelon thing over here. So that might be that. And then a Venus flytrap, which is Gavin's.